Hello and welcome to our yin session today. We hope you enjoy cultivating peace, and that's what our theme is today. So we're going to really think about cultivating peace through the affirmations. Don't forget to subscribe, to like and to press that notification button so we know that you want these videos to keep coming. Let's get started. If you could just start off by kneeling for me. So you can either get a bolster or a block, or you can just sit on your knees, whatever's most comfortable. And we're just going to close down our eyes. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Softly draw your belly in to protect the spine. And we're just going to start off by reminding ourselves why we've come to the mat today. So it may be because you feel like you need to stretch out those joints and create more space in your body. You may be feeling that you need to just slow down the mind. You may be feeling that need to cultivate some peace in your life, and you've just carved out this time to do that. In our yin practice, we think about three main points. So the first one being that we find that Goldilocks position, that special place in each pose where you can feel some tension, but it shouldn't feel painful. It shouldn't feel completely relaxed either. And then we're going to hold it really still, and that's the challenge because you're going to be in these positions for a while. So holding still, and then for a piece of time. Don't have to worry about the time, I'll be keeping my eye on that. Bring your attention inwards now. Notice your breath. Notice where it lands in your body. And notice what your body might be telling you. Are you feeling tired, energized? You don't need to have any judgment attached to that thought. You're just noticing. And take 2 more rounds of breath in this kneeling position, just gathering your attention inwards, connecting to the breath. And before we come out of that position, we're just going to say to ourselves the affirmation, I am centered. I am centered. And as with all the affirmations we use, you can either use the affirmation, repeat it silently to yourself, or just let the words float by. And take 1 more round of breath here, slowly floating the eyes open. And we're going to come off the bolster or the block or the cushion and come to a half dragonfly. So you're sitting on your bottom, your hips, legs are straight out, take them out to an angle now and keep your right leg bent, left leg straight. Lovely. And we're just going to think about what resources we might use. So grab hold of a pillow or a bolster to help support you in your half dragonfly. You're just going to rotate towards the straight leg. Take a deep breath in and lengthen through the spine. And then as you breathe out, come forward and fold over that leg. Now you can stop wherever's right for you. Remember, you're finding that sweet spot in your pose. You're then going to either use a cushion, a pillow. You can bring that bolster right up to your chest. You can bring a block onto the bolster to rest your forehead. And then you're just going to find that stillness. Taking your time. Closing down the eyes, and then again reconnecting with the breath. And your affirmation for this particular move, should you wish to use it, is today I will cultivate inner peace and harmony. Today I will cultivate inner peace and harmony. Daniela's just moving her block under her knee, so she's got a slightly softened knee, so feel free to just get that position just right before you hold still. And just take one more deep round of breath, noticing where you feel that sensation, that tension, maybe in your lower back, your hamstring. And then just placing your hands on the floor next to you, ease yourself up to sitting. Moving your pillows, your blocks, your cushions out of the way, just rebuilding the spine nice and slow, and take it to the other side. So swap your legs over, rotate your body towards the straight leg, set yourself up for greatness. Grab your cushions, your bolsters, whatever feels right for you. Lengthen through the spine and take a deep breath in. And then come forward slowly over the leg, finding that sweet spot, that Goldilocks position. And use whatever you need to find the right place, and then come to a still position and reconnect to the breath. And this time, think about the affirmation: I carry peace, love, and joy in my heart always. I carry peace, love, and joy in my heart always. Just let those words drift by and notice what comes up when you think about them. And just slowly opening the eyes, placing your hands on the floor, easing yourself back up to seated, just rebuilding the spine slowly and moving those resources out of the way, the blocks, the pillows. And we're going to come forward into a child's pose position now. So come onto your hands and knees to begin with. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, just ease the hips back towards the heels. And now, again, you can use the bolster between your arms to lay your chest onto, if that feels good. And you may want to put one ear on the chest, and as your chest comes down, one ear onto the bolster, and I'll tell you when it's halfway. Or you might just want to bring your head onto the floor, onto a block, whatever feels right for you. Okay, come back to your breath. Allow the muscles to relax, but notice that sensation of the hips, groin, pelvis, a bit of space opening there. And your affirmation is, with each breath I take, I release inner peace. With each breath I take, I release inner peace. And as I say, if your head's down on one side, I'm going to tell you when we're halfway through so you can change sides. And we're about halfway, so if you have got your ear down on one side, you can just turn that head and take it to the other side so it feels even, that stretch on your neck. Come back to your breath, find that stillness. And just slowly opening your eyes, placing your hands on the floor and just easing yourself up into a tabletop position, just moving any bolsters or pillows out of the way, placing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and just find what movement you need here to make yourself feel good. So it might be cat-cow, you might want to do some rotations through the spine. You might want to move forward over the hands and back over the hips. You may need to stretch your legs out behind you, whatever feels good. And then just come to stillness. And we're going to go to threading the needle. So I want you to take your left hand and thread it between the gap behind your right arm. As you do so, you're just going to lower your ear down to the floor. And again, feel free to find a cushion if you want to raise the floor up towards you. And your right hand, you can either keep on the floor or you can bring up across your back body and just place the back of the hand either tucked into the opposite thigh or just resting on your lower back. And your affirmation as you move into this particular places. As I connect to my heart, I notice the peace that I have within there. As I connect to my heart, I notice the peace that I have within there. And just begin to open your eyes. If you have your top arm over your body, just bring it down to the floor and use that to push yourself back up to that tabletop position. Find any movement you might need. So we're really connecting to the body and moving intuitively here. And then slowly coming back into tabletop, and this time taking the right arm behind the left and through that gap. Threading the needle, placing the ear down, and just find that stretch, that sensation across the shoulders, into the top of the back. And you can either leave your right arm pressed into the floor, your left arm pressed into the floor even, Or you can lift it and place it over the body, and it can rest either into the lower back or can reach round towards the thigh. Take a deep breath here. And your affirmation is, here in my breathing, I feel comforted. Here in my breathing, I feel comforted. And again, just use those words how you want to, and connect to your breath, deepening it as we move into the class further. And if you can, finding that stillness, challenging yourself to hold still for time. And just take one last round of deep breath. And then as you exhale, just placing that left hand onto the mat, pushing yourself back up to tabletop, and just finding any movement that you need here. You might want to go into cat-cow. You might want to just rotate your neck and shoulders like Daniela is, just easing out any tension. And then come back down on the mat. Do you want this back down? And we're going to go to Sphinx Pose. So lying on your tummy, extending the legs out behind you, placing your elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms flat on the floor, and just spreading your fingers. You're going to notice that arch through the back, and make sure there's no crunching there. So we're really trying to lengthen the spine and just shine your heart forward, opening your heart. And now think about your feet. They can be hip distance apart, and just give your hips and your bottom a bit of a shake from side to side to release the tension there. Now, as you know, with the yin yoga, we really don't want to be using the muscles, so try and let go of the muscles in your legs. Make sure you're not squeezing your buttocks, you're not using your hamstrings, and you can just turn your toes inwards slightly to help release that. So pigeon-toed, and you'll notice everything just release. If you want to have less of an arch through your back, you can just move these elbows forward a little bit. Or you could rest on a bolster, so you could put that bolster underneath your chest or cushion. Okay, let's get going. Close down your eyes, notice your breath, challenge yourself to find stillness. And your affirmation is, with each breath I take, I release inner peace. With each breath I take, I release inner peace. And I want you to take one last deep breath in. And as you exhale, just opening up the eyes, pushing yourself slowly back up into your tabletop position, bending your knees, and then coming to cat-cow. So taking a breath in and just pressing the chin forward, the heart forward, tail lifts, breath out, and work your way through the spine the opposite way, tail tucks under, pressing the top of the back up. Do that again, breathing in into your cow, and breathing out into your cat. And then just walk your knees towards your wrists and sit yourself down on your bottom, laying yourself slowly down onto your back. We're going to go to Banana Asana. So legs are outstretched, arms above your head if you find that comfortable. And you're just going to walk your feet to the right side of your mat and walk your arms, your hands, to the right side of the mat too. So you've got that banana shape and you're allowing that hip to press the opposite way to your hands and your feet. Now you can either hold it there, or you can lift your left leg and hook it over the right. You can hold on to your left arm with your right hand, right wrist, and just pull it across. Closing down the eyes, taking your time to reset, relax the muscles, and open up into the side body. Keep breathing. And your affirmation here is, I inhale peace and I exhale love. I inhale peace and I exhale love. And I just want you to take one last round of breath here. And on the exhale, just unhook that foot if you've hooked it over. Move your feet back to center, unhook the arms, and move them back to center. Straightening up your body. And let's take that to the other side now. So moving your feet over to the left-hand side, crossing over the right, over the left if that feels comfortable. Moving your arms, your hands to the left-hand side and holding onto the wrist of the right arm if that's comfortable. And then just closing down the eyes once you've found that sweet spot. Challenge yourself to be still, and we'll just hold for time. And your affirmation, if you choose to repeat it to yourself, is, here in my breathing, I receive answers. Here in my breathing, I receive answers. then slowly opening your eyes, unhooking your feet, straightening up your body. Just draw your knees in towards the chest and hold on to them, and find any movement there that feels good. So you might want to get a little rocking side to side or a little bit of rotation, and just ease out any tension that may have built up in the back body, in the neck, the shoulders. And we're ready to go into our Shavasana now. So if you want to reach for a blanket, you can, covering yourself over. And then just placing your feet, your heels, just slightly wider than hip distance, and allow those feet to just drop open. And then the same with your arms. You're just going to bring them down by your side, about a foot away from the body, palms facing upwards. And then just walk your shoulder blades towards each other, so you're slightly puffing up the chest so that you can breathe deeply. Closing down the eyes and allowing the floor to support your body. Bring your attention back to the breath. And I want you to just imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing in a white light. And that white light on the inward breath starts at the base of your spine and circles around your spine and spirals all the way to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, there's one long streamlined out breath right down the center of your spinal column. And you breathe in from the base of your spine. The white light spirals the spine round and round until it reaches the crown of your head. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out one long line down the center of your spinal column. And attach the word peace to that white light. And as you breathe in and you notice it spiral the spinal column, you notice an overwhelming sense of peace transmuting through your body. And as you breathe out, like one long outward breath down the spine, you're noticing an overwhelming sense of relaxation. And just do that once more, one more round of that white light breath work. And then as you exhale, just allow a letting go of that visualization. Imagine the white light just dissolves, just dissipates, leaving your body feeling refreshed and at peace. And just begin to bring your attention to your hands, your feet, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, finding some movement there. And taking a breath in, stretch overhead, and a breath out, just rolling onto your side, right side or left, whatever feels right for you in this moment. Pause there with your eyes closed and just take a moment of gratitude. Consider what you've achieved on the mat today. Only focus on what you have been able to do. And then when you're ready, just pushing yourself up to a seated position, opening the eyes, and just noticing how you feel. Thank you so much for joining us for this yin session. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you've cultivated peace. You know you can take that straight off the mat into the rest of your day or your evening. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and press the notification button for us. We'll keep on bringing these videos to you. Bye for now.
Namaste.
Namaste.